Hello again, my little science friends. We are going to do something very similar to what we did yesterday, except we're not doing a food chain. Well, we're going to do one, but we're going to look at a food chain inside a food web. And we'll also take a look at a food pyramid today and just make sure we understand how these are related. So first, let's just take a look at the food pyramid. So here's what I want you to do. It says, make your own food pyramid by searching for animals. We're going to do the same way we did yesterday. Now, the thing you need to know is this. Producers go on the bottom of a food pyramid. So we're going to have the plants on the bottom because there's more plants than anything. The food pyramid shows that the amount of energy, as it goes higher on the pyramid, it gets less. So you can see that the amount of energy gets smaller. There's a whole lot of producers. The first level consumers, there's quite a few things that eat grass and plants. There's not as many second level consumers, and there's very few tertiary, the word we learned earlier in the week, consumers at the top, that there's not as much energy available. Okay, so we're going to do it the same way, and I'll just review it with you. So we go to Insert in our tools up here, click on Insert, go over Image, and go down to Search the Web. It'll pop up over here. And so let's type in, what do we want to, what kind of plant do we want to use to begin our food pyramid? How about grass? We'll type in grass. Oh, we've got some pretty grass here. So remember, we click on it and drag it over to the slide. It's going to pop up really big. So we grab a corner and pull it kind of down towards the middle of the picture. And we got to make these kind of skinny because the food pyramid's not real big on this slide. So I'll put some grass here on the bottom. Now, what can I put that would eat grass? We did a rabbit yesterday. Let's choose something different. How about, what else eats grass? How about a cow? Okay, we'll choose a cow. A big one, but a cow eats grass. All right, so I'm going to choose this cute little cow right here. It doesn't matter if it's a real picture or just a drawing. All right, so I'm going to put my cow in the second level here. He got flat and skinny, didn't he? Now, what's something that would eat a cow? Maybe, I don't know, maybe a coyote? Maybe I picked something too big for my second one. I don't know. Let's say a coyote eats that cow. So I'm going to put him over here above the cow. All right, so he's my third level. Got to make him a little bit smaller to fit him in there. Okay, and what would eat a coyote? I guess if a big old black bear was hungry enough, he'd eat a coyote, wouldn't he? So we'll put our black bear at the top. Let's just use this guy right here. It looks like we can shrink him down and make him fit in the food pyramid. All right, so get in there, little bear. Well, that's too tiny. I don't care if it fits perfectly. Just make sure you have him there, okay? All right, so there's the food pyramid. Starts with the producer, something that eats the plant, something that eats the thing that eats the plant, and something that eats the thing that eats the thing that eats the plant. All right, so make sure you got all those on your food pyramid. Now, I'm going to show you how to do something new today. This is kind of cool. You might like to use this if you're just playing around, doing some pictures by yourself. So we got to draw the arrows. Well, if you'll look up here in your tools where there's a little circle on top of a square, that's shapes, okay? So click on it. And actually, arrows is one of your choices. So move your mouse and your finger down over arrows, and you've got all kinds of arrows that pop up. We just want arrows going one direction. So choose one like, I'm just going to choose this one. Once you click on it, it doesn't do anything until you touch the screen and kind of drag it. And then it'll make an arrow. Then you have to reshape your arrow, okay? All right, now here's the cool thing. Look at my arrow. We got to make a food chain on this picture. So you see this little circle at the top? If you click on it, you can actually turn the direction of your arrow. So there we go. So now I've got this underwater kelp or something like that being eaten by that fish. And you can do 3, 4. You can do as many arrows as you want. I'll just do a couple to show you an example. So now I want that fish to go into the dolphin's mouth. So kind of do this, and I need to turn that thing, fish, going to the dolphin's mouth. So there we go. So it's a simple little food chain. arrow going to the fish is eating that, and then the arrow going into the dolphin's mouth because the dolphin's eating that fish. So that's how you do those arrows. I'll show you again on the next slide too. Okay, on the next slide, we've got to make a food web. Okay, we've got to use arrows this time. So this time we've got to have a lot of arrows. And this is going to take some time. That's why there's not many slides for you to do today. So I'll do an example, get you started, okay, with some arrows. Remember, you click on the circle over the square, arrows. Okay, you pick whichever one of these first 4 arrows. That's the best ones to use, that you like best. So I want to do a little one here. The grass to, whoops, click on that circle to turn it. Grass going into Mr. Shrimp's mouth right there, okay? Now, this fish might eat the shrimp, and that fish might eat the shrimp, so I'd have to draw 2 arrows there, huh? Or put in 2 arrows. This is take a little bit of time, but you can do it. So I'm going to do from here to here an arrow. I'm going to turn it, just kind of makes it look nice. Okay, but also I'm going to put an arrow going to that fish because I think that fish would eat the shrimp. So we'll do this one. And I'll turn it a little bit to make it more even looking. Okay, now you could also draw an arrow over to the crab if you wanted to and have arrows going there. You need to have everything with an arrow going from it, okay? So then the next level, this fish might be eaten by that fish and that fish. So I'm going to put 2 more arrows in there. It's kind of fun. It kind of takes a little bit of time too. So remember, you touch the arrow, it doesn't do anything. You click on the screen and slide it, and it'll show, and then you turn it. Okay. So now I've got that fish going to that fish. Let me move that just a little bit. There we go. And now I want to draw an arrow to that fish. He looks like he's about to eat him anyway, doesn't he? So I'm going to pick the one going that way, just so I can make it easier. Okay. I'll turn it just a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfect, just make it look nice. And then this guy could eat either one of those, couldn't he? So we're going to get my arrows. Okay. Oh, I picked the wrong arrow. I really got to turn this one. And this guy could be eaten by that guy. I'm showing you pretty much the answers, aren't I? I don't know why I'm doing all this for you, except you've also got to include Mr. Crab down here. Mr. Crab. He's on SpongeBob, isn't he? Okay, so food web is going to look something like that. You might have an arrow going over here from the grass to the crab. You might think the crab might eat the shrimp. Okay, so just put your arrows on this page to show what is eating what. Okay, make sure your arrows are going toward the thing that's eating it. So this one would go in the mouth of that one. This one would go in the mouth of that one. Just make sure your arrows are pointing the right direction. Okay. Now, there's one last thing. Create your own food web by searching images. Just like yesterday, you get to go over here. And this doesn't have to be underwater. It can be any kind of food web you want. So you just got to go in. Let's put, cabbage. So I'll start with a cabbage head down here. Remember, you got to shrink them. You want to make them really kind of small since you're putting a food web in. Okay, what could eat a cabbage? I'm going to kind of put, it might be a good idea on this since I'm going to kind of have some going out this direction. So I'm going to put my cabbage in the corner, and then I'm going to put 2 things that might eat a cabbage. You can't just put one because that's a food chain. You need to have at least 2 things. So I'll do a rabbit again. Okay. Shrink these so you can fit them on here. Okay. What else would eat a cabbage? I can't think of things today for some reason. What else eats your garden? Oh, I don't know. Maybe, I know you're saying, Mr. Helton, I know what would eat it. And I can't think. Let's do a mouse. Okay. Ew, that's an ugly little mouse, but we'll put him on there. You might think he's cute. I think he's ugly. Now, let's go ahead and put some arrows on here. We got to do our arrows again to show this. So I'm going to put one here from the cabbage to the rabbit. And I'm going to put one from the cabbage to the mouse. You click on the arrow you want, and then just kind of click on your screen and drag it, and it will go like that. All right. Now, I want to stop there because I want you to think of something that would eat rabbit. It might also eat a mouse. So you might have a arrow going from the mouse and the rabbit to something. But think of some second level consumers, okay, and put some on there. And as long as you put maybe 2 or 3 more animals that would eat both the mouse and the rabbit and have some arrows going to them, that would be fine. Just don't show just one food chain. At least have 2 food chains going that are interconnected. In other words, arrows going between things on both food chains. Got it? All right, that's your science lesson for today. Enjoy using some technology to create your own slides, and I think you'll do a great job, and I think you'll have fun doing it too. So I'll let you get started now. See you tomorrow.